Welcome to another edition of On the Record. I'm Chief Deputy Recorder J.R. Ryder. Your Marion County Recorder, Faith Kimbrough, is out today. Today, we pay tribute to an Indiana organization who has been serving our community for over 132 years. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the show. I am here today with the CEO and President of Wheeler Mission, Perry Hines. Welcome to On the Record.
Thanks a lot, J.R. Appreciate it.
So, we want to make Recorder Kimbrough proud. So do you remember her jingle that she coined?
I think so.
Okay, let's give it a shot.
You wanna?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Liens, deeds, mortgages, and more. Again, liens, deeds, mortgages, and more. Very good. You're a natural with that.
I wouldn't think so. My wife says I'm the worst dancer in the world.
Uh-oh. I'm going to stay away from that one. So, Wheeler Mission. It has been serving our community here in Indianapolis for around 132, 133 years.
That's right.
Tell us how Wheeler Mission got started.
Well, think about it. I mean, we've been around for World War I, World War II, Vietnam War, the gas crisis, and, kind of all of those things. So Wheeler Mission has been around for 132 years, and we've seen a lot. And so we've been serving this community proudly ever since then. So Wheeler Mission started with a small band of committed women. Women always start everything. Leave it up to the women. They do everything. So a small group of committed women from a local church here saw women and children being abandoned in the center of Indianapolis. At the time, the center of Indianapolis was Union Station, right? And so train stations were all the center of town. And so they saw women being abandoned with children and just nowhere else to go. And so they wanted to start a place for the women and children to go. And so they started a refuge house for them. And so what is today now, 132 years later, is Wheeler Mission.
So was it always called Wheeler Mission? Did it have other names?
No, it's changed names over the years. And so you're going to test my history here now. It used to be called the City Rescue Mission. And then a pastor named William Wheeler, we look at him as the grandfather of Wheeler Mission, and his wife, Mary Wheeler. Then she got her husband. Back in the day, you had to get your husband on board, right? Okay. So she got her husband on board, and he was very passionate about it. He was a local minister. And so that's really our roots, is really, we're a very faith-based organization, but we've been serving the community for 132 years.
And so William Wheeler is who eventually the mission was named after.
Absolutely.
And that's how we have Wheeler Mission today.
That's why it's called Wheeler Mission today.
Now, Wheeler Mission has several locations. You don't just serve women anymore. Tell us a little about the other locations.
No. Oh, we do have a number of locations. We are based here in central Indiana, mainly in Indianapolis, but we are the largest provider of homeless services in Bloomington as well. So we went down to Bloomington at the request of another local ministry who needed some assistance, and there's definitely a need for our services down there. And so we've been in Bloomington for the last 10 years. But we have several locations here in town. I think the latest count with our thrift store, our distribution center, our Women and Children's Center out on Michigan, here in this building, which is one of the historic buildings here in town. We've been here since 1929. And so we have not only our administrative offices here, but we also have adjacent to it is what we call the MRC, the Men's Residential Center. It's for our long-term drug and alcohol addiction recovery program, as well as transitional housing. And then we have our largest shelter for men over on Market. It's called the Shelter for Men, and that's our largest. So we have several facilities. Our women are all in one campus location out on Michigan, the thrift store up north in Fishers at I-69 and 96th Street. So we're spread out all over town.
Wow, it's pretty impressive. So are these full-service shelters, overnight shelters? Tell us a little bit about those services for the constituents.
Sure. We are a provider of homeless services, and that includes everything from emergency shelter care. We call it ESS, and we are able to do the feeding and the care of individuals on an emergency basis, and so that the time frame is very different. It could be from one day, it could be for 6 months, it could be 9 months. But then we also have, which people don't know a lot, and we try to educate quite a bit on this, we have a lot of drug and alcohol addiction recovery programs. We have job readiness training programs. We have case managers and counselors on staff. We help with services that we can immediately help and stabilize an individual. But those services that we can't or don't have the expertise in, such as a lot of the mental health counseling that's needed with our guests, we call them guests, who come to us every night. Last night, we saw about 750 men, women, and children in our shelters last night, and that was just a typical night. And then when it now is starting to get cold, that number can run up to 800 or 900 a night. And so we have a lot of things we do.
And you also have one of the biggest fundraisers, one of the largest fundraisers here that's pretty popular here in our city. Talk to us about the upcoming Drumstick Dash.
I was wondering when it's going to get to Drumstick Dash. You know, people call it everything from turkey trot to whatever, but it is the Drumstick Dash. This is our 23rd year, 23rd year, and it was begun with really an idea of not really knowing how it's going to do. So it's our largest fundraiser, our largest single fundraiser, and we will expect on Thanksgiving morning. It's usually a 5K race. It's a walk, run, walk kind of thing. We'll expect between 15,500 people to 16,000 on the streets of Broad Ripple. We've got something for the kids, for the family. This is, we have the serious people who this is the timed race. And so we're one of the largest timed races in the country. I think the second or third largest in Indiana. And so we're a qualifying race for some other things like the Boston Marathon, New York Marathon, those kind of races. But it's just a fun family event. Come out and, the theme is move your feet so others can eat. It's on Thanksgiving morning, and it starts at 9 o'clock, and we're usually done by 11 o'clock. And so you can come out and do that. It's a family tradition for a lot of people, and we've had people, families and generations of people running for the last 23 years. So it's a family tradition. You come run the Drumstick Dash, you move your feet so others can eat, JR, and then you go home to your own turkey, and you have all the rest of the afternoon.
That sounds good. I like to move my feet to eat. So the proceeds for the Drumstick Dash literally go to provide Thanksgiving meals to several families. How does that work?
Yeah, so 100% of the proceeds go toward our operations here. And because of generous individuals and corporations in the community, it's completely underwritten. And frankly, we probably will expect about $1 million that will go to the top line for that event. And we are able to, with these expenses and other stuff, we're able to bring about $800,000 or so, $750,000 to $800,000 to the bottom line to help with our services and everything that we do each and every day here at Wheeler Mission.
Now, you've been here, I believe, is it 2021 when you came aboard?
Yes, I came in 2021.
And so you've been serving, of course, as the president for
since 2023.
2023, okay. And you replace the great Rick Alvis, who served Wheeler Mission, I believe, around 33 years.
Yeah, Rick's pretty much a legend here. And so Rick served faithfully here for 33 plus years as our president and CEO. And I think he's probably got about 43, 45 years in the rescue mission world. He used to be at Evansville before he came here. But Rick and his team of folks, that they really have built a lot of the infrastructure here. And so I'm so fortunate and blessed to come in behind someone like Rick, who has dedicated 33 plus years of his life to Wheeler Mission. Rick is still my president emeritus. I call on Rick to this day and talked to him a couple of days ago. He gives me advice, and I give him advice and let him know what's happening here at the mission. But Rick Alvis is a legend, and a lot of what Wheeler is today is because of the work of people like Rick Alvis.
So what's next for Wheeler Mission?
Good question. What are we going to do for the next 132 years? And so I won't be here for 132 years, just by the way. Wheeler is changing. We are trying to make sure we keep up and stay relevant with the times. And Wheeler has traditionally been thought of as the front door of homelessness in our community. So up until the city is going to be doing something called a housing hub, and then we will have a city shelter. But up until that time, and I think it's coming online in a couple of years, but until that time, we're the largest metropolitan area without a city shelter. Why? Because they've had Wheeler Mission. And so We're looking forward to sharing those duties and services with the city. We are starting to look at housing. Housing is not only a homelessness crisis in this country, in this community, but also a housing crisis. And so what we see is we've been good at bringing them in, stabilizing them, getting them back to being productive citizens of society. But what we need to do is now is make sure on the back end that they are prepared and equipped to be those productive citizens. And a big part of that, JR, is affordable housing.
Now, Perry, you've been gracious during this interview. Of course, you thought it was an interview, which it is. However, we wanted to present something to you because the real reason why we came out here is that Wheeler Mission is what we consider to be an iconic landmark here in the city of Indianapolis. Nice. So here we have a decorative deed on behalf of Recorder, your Marion County Recorder, Faith Kimbrough. We'd like to present this to you and to Wheeler Mission for your service to our community.
That's fantastic. This is a surprise. This is fantastic. Thank you so much.
And you're welcome. And thank you for being our guest on the Record.
No, thank you for having us. We appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. A special thank you to President and CEO of Wheeler Mission, Perry Hines, for such a great interview. That's it for today's episode of On the Record. Be sure to tune in next month. But until then, have a great Thanksgiving.